In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you keep falling off and how to stay consistent. The real reason you keep quitting. I've fallen off more times than I can even count. From workout plans, steady schedules, business goals, you name it. I start off very strong only to crash within a few weeks. And if you are watching this video, you've probably been there too. For years, I thought I was just weak. I used to think I'm not disciplined enough, or I'm too lazy, or I don't even have what it takes. But that's complete BS. And if you're watching this video and you're thinking the same about yourself, you are also wrong. Here's what's really happening. Let's say you set a goal that you really want to achieve, and then you ride the motivational wave for a few days, and then life gets messy. You miss one day for a legit reason. Maybe you're occupied by work, you get sick, or whatever gets in the way. But instead of getting back on the grind, you let this spiral you into screw it mode, where if you miss one day of gym, you might as well just miss the whole week. Or you ate one bad meal, so your whole day is ruined, so you might as well just order a pizza. This isn't a discipline problem, it's a system problem. I used to think consistency meant never missing a day, never feeling unmotivated, or never struggling. But that's Hollywood BS. Real consistency is being able to get back on track fast when you inevitably drift off. The guys who seem naturally disciplined aren't superhuman. They've learned to work with their brain instead of against it. Here's what I mean. Your brain has two modes, autopilot and effort mode. Most of your day runs on autopilot, like brushing your teeth, driving familiar routes, or checking your phone. These actions require zero power because they are automatic. But every time that you try to force a habit through pure effort, you are burning from a fuel tank that gets smaller throughout the day. And by evening, when you planned to work out or study, you are running on fumes. This is why you start strong in the morning but fall apart by night. The solution isn't more willpower, it's creating better autopilot systems. In the next few minutes, I'm breaking down how to work with your brain's natural patterns instead of against them, and the simple system that I use to make consistency feel natural instead of forced. Your brain's ancient programming is fighting you. Your brain wasn't designed for this modern world. For thousands of years, our ancestors survived by conserving their energy. Doing unnecessary work could literally get you killed. So your brain is still running on that ancient programming that says, hey, this new routine that we are doing right now is burning off energy that we can use later, so shut it down. So your subconscious still treats every new habit or routine like it's a potential threat to your survival, even if it's good for you. It's not personal. You are just fighting against millions of years of evolution. Most guys try to power through with motivation and willpower, which is like trying to run a car with emotions. That's not going to work. Motivation comes and goes based on how you slept, what you ate, and whether your day went well. Motivation is completely unreliable. So here's what I do instead. I assume that I'm not going to feel like it every single day, and then I create systems around that. So on the days when I do feel good, then I get a bonus progress for the systems that I used. And the days that I do actually feel bad, the system will still allow me to hit my minimum because it doesn't require me to feel motivated. And willpower is like a muscle that gets tired with use. Every decision you make, every temptation that you resist, every time that you choose the hard work over the easy one, you are depleting the willpower tank. So when you plan to work out after a full day of making decisions at work, it's like asking your most depleted resource to carry the heaviest load. This is why you can resist donuts all day but demolish a bag of chips at 9 p.m. Your willpower is at its lowest in the evening. The guys who stay consistent aren't using more willpower. They are actually using less. They've set up the environment so that good choices become automatic and bad choices require effort. If you want to work out consistently, don't rely on motivation to get you to the gym. Lay out your clothes the night before, pack your bag, and then put it by the door. Make the good choice the easiest choice. The same principle applies in reverse. If phone addiction kills your focus, don't rely on willpower to resist it. Just put your phone in another room and keep junk food out of your house entirely. Make the bad choices harder to do and the good choices easier. Your environment beats motivation every single time. Design it right and consistency becomes your default instead of something that you constantly have to fight for. The identity trap that keeps you stuck. Here's the brutal truth. Every time you quit, you are not just losing progress, you are reinforcing the identity that you are someone who quits, and your brain loves consistency. So if you see yourself as someone who is undisciplined, then your brain will find a way to prove you right. I used to see myself as the guy who starts strong but never follows through. So every time that I set a new goal, Part of me has already started planning the excuse for when I do quit, and this became a self-fulfilling prophecy that kept me stuck for years. Your actions follow your identity. So if you see yourself as naturally lazy, disciplined behaviors feel fake and forced. Your mind constantly tries to align your actions with who you think you are. The solution isn't to change your behavior first, it's rather to change the way you see yourself. So instead of saying, I'm trying to work out more, rather say, I'm someone who works out daily. Or instead of saying, I'm trying to eat better, say, I'm someone who fuels my body properly. Start with the smallest possible proof. If you want to become someone who reads, then read 10 pages a day. If you want to become someone who works out, then do 5 push-ups a day. If you want to become someone who builds wealth, then save $1 a day. These actions feel so small, they feel ridiculous to skip, but they create the evidence of your new identity. After reading 1 page daily, you can't argue with the fact that you are someone who reads daily. Most ambitious young men fall into the perfectionist trap. We set aggressive goals and expect flawless execution. When we miss one workout, we see that as a complete failure instead of a 95% success rate. This all or nothing thinking kills more goals than the lack of motivation. Here's my rule. Progress beats perfection every single time. A messy, imperfect routine that you stick to is much better than a perfect plan that you quit after 2 weeks. Your past failures doesn't define your future potential. They were expensive lessons that taught you what doesn't work. Every guy who is now consistent has a graveyard of abandoned goals behind them. The difference is they learned from their mistake, but they didn't let it define their identity. You are not someone who cannot stick to things. You are just someone who hasn't found the right system yet. Why perfect plans always fail? The bigger and more complex your plan, the more likely you are to quit. I learned this the hard way when I tried to completely overhaul my life in January. I planned a new workout routine, new diet, new morning routine, new business schedule, and so many other things. And guess what? I only lasted 11 days before everything came crashing down. Instead of building 1 habit at a time, I tried to build 6 habits at once. Your brain will see this as a massive change and hit the panic button. Now I follow the 1 habit rule. Focus on building 1 habit until it truly becomes automatic. This may take months, but the patience here pays off huge because every habit becomes the foundation for the next one. The 2-day rule that changed everything. Perfect consistency is impossible, and trying to achieve it will set you up for the all or nothing trap. My rule is simple: never miss 2 days in a row. If you miss 1 day, that's life. But if you miss 2 days, that's the beginning of a pattern that derails everything. The first miss is an exception. The second miss starts rewiring your brain back to inconsistency. This one rule has saved me more goals than all the strategy that I use. You need a comeback protocol for when you miss a day, because you are going to miss some days. The key is getting back on track immediately and not trying to compensate for what you missed. So if you missed the workout yesterday, don't try to double it today. Just do your normal routine. Trying to make up for lost time creates an unsustainable system that usually leads to burnout and quitting. Another way to stay consistent is to track your behavior, not just your results. Most guys focus on outcomes, but outcomes lag way beyond your actions, and sometimes your outcomes are influenced by things that are outside of your control. You can use simple streak counters. So every time that you hit your minimum viable habit, you get a point. The goal isn't to build the longest streak ever, but it's to get really good at starting new streaks when the old one breaks. This removes the bad feeling from when you miss a day. Instead of, I broke my 30-day streak, it becomes, time to start streak number 2. The focus shifts from perfection to resilience. This identity shift affects everything that you do. The disciplined 23-year-old becomes a successful 30-year-old not because of one big breakthrough, but because of the small consistent actions that compounded over time. Your future self is counting on the choices that you make today. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about showing up when it matters most. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.